welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, the world's okayest recruiter. All right, so I have 4 interviews today and I wore this t-shirt. I'm inspiring lots of confidence with my candidates. Oops. Okay, so I want to dig in this week to something we've talked about quite a bit, not the ATS. Be done with that for a hot minute. We have talked about salary negotiations before. I've got an entire playlist all about money. I'll add this video to it as well. But it's, just recently, there's been kind of an uptick in conversations around negotiating offers. I don't know if this is a sign of just the marketing is, improving, people are getting offers, which is awesome, or, what's driving it. But it's been really interesting to see more discussion about offer negotiation. So I wanted to tackle something that seems to be kind of a common data point, or a common talking point, I should say, when it comes to negotiating offers. So the question is often asked, should I negotiate? And the answer for a lot of people is yes. That's it. It's just yes. Well, do you want to know anything else about the offer or the circumstances before you decide if you want to negotiate? I don't know. There just seems to be like this kind of conventional wisdom out there that you got an offer, so you must negotiate. Y'all, I'm just not sure I believe that. But let me tell you why. Because I know a lot of you are like, oh, well, of course, Amy doesn't want you to negotiate. She's a recruiter. She wants you to just accept her shitty offer. First of all, my offers are not shitty. Okay? But no, in all seriousness, I'm actually going to share with you exactly what I told my child. Okay? My daughter, one of my favorite children. I have a lot of kids. Plus the dogs. But anyway, no, but seriously, this is exactly what I told my child. Do you think I'm going to give my kid bad advice? All right. And maybe someday she'll agree to come on the show and tell you guys that I'm not full of shit. I don't know. We'll see. But this is the exact conversation that went down with my kid. Okay. So she is graduating from law school in a couple months, next month, actually. Yeah. In May. She graduates in May. And so this second half of her third year has been spent. She did a summer internship last year. She's been doing internships. She's been, interviewing and exploring, those kinds of things. Because, college kids generally get hired before they graduate, right? No different for law school, hopefully. And so she's been going through all those motions and everything. And she got an offer. And of course, she calls her mama and is like, what do I do? So here's the thing, though. We started having this conversation way before she got the offer in her hand. Okay? So that's number one. The number one thing to remember is that the negotiation or the offer discussion doesn't start the day the recruiter hands you an offer. You are thinking about this hopefully from the beginning. When you decide to go on an interview, when you decide to consider taking that recruiter's call, when you got that positive response to your application, I want you to already be thinking about, if I were to take this job, what would that need to look like? Start creating that list in your mind, creating that yes number, creating that minimum, don't insult me with less than, whatever it looks like. So check out, I'm going to link above the All About Money playlist. But this whole idea of offer negotiation starts way sooner in the process. You, as the job seeker, as this prospective candidate, really need to be able to align yourself to an expectation, to a certain number, okay? So I said the same thing to my daughter. We talked about, what's the going rates in these different geographic areas that she was looking at. What are her friends, getting offers at? Because she has friends that are also graduating this year and starting to get jobs. What does the labor market data tell us? So looking at places like payscale.com and PAYSA and levels.fyi if you're in tech, that's a really good resource. So really gathering all of the different data that you can get your hands on from all of these different sources and start making some assumptions based on your experience, your location, what you're learning about your industry and about your compensation ranges, okay? Don't rely on just one recruiter to tell you this is what it should be. Even if it's me, go check what I'm telling you against all these other sources because you deserve to make a data-driven decision, okay? So that's number one, researching and understanding and knowing what is normal or expected for your industry, your level of experience, and your role, okay? Second thing, now you have the offer, okay? What actually is negotiable, okay? And again, I will tell you, in my daughter's situation, the offer that she ended up getting was with a very small firm, okay? I don't even think they have an HR department. I'm not sure. They might have somebody who does that stuff, but it's a very small firm. And so the one thing that we talked about was a little something around benefits that I had encouraged her to ask for, and it was no problem and, all good. Not every company can do that. If you're dealing with a behemoth organization that has, 100,000 employees, they're not going to give you an extra week of vacation just because you asked for it. Those things are generally kind of written in stone policies that are for a large number of people. They're not always going to be flexible on those things. I know in big tech anyway, in FANG, I've never been able to negotiate benefits. HR laughs at me. I still ask sometimes because I'll tell my candidate, well, I know what they're going to say, but if it means that much to you, I'll ask. And then I call up HR and they're like, haha, you're funny. This joke isn't cute anymore, and hang up on me. Okay, not really. But you see where I'm going with this? So understand that different organizations are going to have different areas that they're flexible in. For some, they might be able to negotiate a bigger salary, more equity, better benefits, more vacation time. Again, you have to understand what the company can actually do and what is negotiable. So that's where you want to ask the recruiter. The third thing, and this is the advice I gave my daughter, if the offer is a great offer and you feel good about it, take it. Take the offer. My daughter got an offer that was a bit more than we discussed. I don't want to say too much. I don't like talking about my kids on social media because they don't like it. But I want to share this story with you guys because I want you to understand I'm not telling you anything that I didn't tell my own flesh and blood. The one of the few people in the world that I would jump in front of a train for or take a bullet for, I'm giving her the same advice. Okay? Do with that what you will. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not your mama. But I'm not giving you one piece of advice and telling my child something different. I told her the same thing. So when she called me and said, I got this offer, what should I do? We went through the checklist. How do you feel about the job itself? The content of the position? What are you going to get to work on? Who are you going to work with? How do you feel about that? Check that box. She loves it. It is literally her dream. Okay? That was a big, bold check mark right there. Met that goal. Location. Is it geographically where you want to be? Absolutely. She's coming home. She's going to be in Seattle. I'm so excited. Okay, so check that box. It's exactly where she wants to be. It's in a great neighborhood where she wants to live. All those kinds of things. Okay? The offer package itself. What do you think? It was more than her predefined yes number by a bit. And she said, well, I just feel like I should ask for more. I said, okay, you can ask for more. If you want to ask for more, here's how you're going to position it. But let me ask you, is that a deal breaker? How do you feel? And she's like, well, no, actually, I feel really good about this. And I think this is right. But I just feel this pressure like I'm supposed to negotiate. I said, okay, let's put that to the side for a moment. What about the rest of the package? And then we started talking about some benefit stuff, and there's some other unique situations at work that I won't go into, but she asked for a specific thing. She got the specific thing. It worked out, okay? Because again, what is negotiable, what's reasonable, and what was most important to her? Those are the things that she indexed her counter on, right? The actual financial piece, like I said, beat her expectations. So she took it. And she's now in the middle of, preparing to onboard and having conversations about, the window office that she's getting and the pictures she's going to hang on the wall. And it has taken this pressure off where now she feels good, even though she didn't negotiate according to the standard conventional wisdom. She got an offer with a firm that she believes in, doing work that she loves for more than she expected to make. What is there to negotiate, y'all? Did she leave a few $1,000s on the table? I'm not so sure. Would they have squeezed out a few bucks to make her happy if she'd asked for it? Maybe. Would it have made a big difference on her paycheck after taxes were done with it? Probably not. So you have to decide that for yourself. Where is your threshold? If you know, like, oh man, all of my boxes are ticked here and I'm so freaking happy and this is literally my dream job and it's more money than I'd asked for, take the offer, y'all. There is no shame in that game. I promise you. I've done it myself, which I've told that story before, and it's the same thing that I told my kid. So don't feel bullied or pressured into negotiating because a thought leader told you to. That's all I'm saying. If your numbers are not being met, then yes, absolutely negotiate it, and I'll help you with that. But if you are getting everything you wanted and then some, it is absolutely okay to just say yes. All right? So get the FAQs, y'all. I sent them to my kid even though she didn't want them. And look how it turned out for her. She's very happy, but nobody's happier than her mama who gets to welcome her back home in a few months. So, all right, Amy at recruitinginyogapants.com. If you put salary FAQS in the subject line, you too will get a handy cheat sheet of ways that you can discuss compensation at every stage of the process. So I hope that helps y'all. This was a really great week for the Miller fam and for my baby who's now a lawyer, or almost, just passed the bar first, but she's close. All right, y'all, hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions down below or shoot me an email. Get those FAQs and we will see you next week.